Most people try to get healthy. Very few people wake up at 3:45 in the morning to do it. My guest today, Geana Williams, didn't just decide to get fit, she decided to fight back. When rheumatoid arthritis tried to set a ceiling on what her body could do, she became her own health advocate and discovered that movement wasn't her enemy, it was her medicine. Now she's a fitness instructor, helping others transform their bodies and their relationship with food, one 3:45 a.m. alarm at a time. It's an Execution Lab. I'm DeAndre. Let's work. Your hardest days, when that alarm goes off at 3:45, the joints may be flared out some, your body, your mind saying, I'll stay in this bed. What is the actual thought or the image that gets you out of bed?
Ugh. I say to myself over and over and over again, Geana, you know you gotta move. You know you do not want to be where you were the day you got out that truck to pump that gas. And
Mm,
somebody asked me, ma'am, you okay? Because I stood there.
wow.
My legs wouldn't move. They
Yeah.
were just that swollen. And I said, Geana, you gotta get up. So I started doing bicycles in the bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just, you know what I'm saying? And then I jump on up. But that goes that I'll never forget that day. Never forget that day. And I said, Lord, what's wrong with me? I mean, because I did not know. And whenever I think about that, I get myself up.
So, Geana, welcome to the Execution Lab podcast. We're so happy to have you with us. So, just tell everybody about yourself so they can get to know you. And then we'll jump into the question.
Okay, hello. My name is Geana Williams. I am a 54-year-old with rheumatoid arthritis, and it didn't just start. I started having these issues. I don't know, about 5 years ago. I just noticed some changes in my body, and I couldn't do the things that I used to do. And I went to the doctor, and I was like, something is going on with me. They sent me everywhere. Couldn't find nothing. Couldn't find because it's really hard to diagnose. And finally, when they did diagnose it, I was like, oh, Lord, I'm not going to be able to move and do the things that I love to do. But once I found out that moving was the only thing that was going to help me, I hit the ground running. I hit
Good.
it running.
Okay. So let's go back to the beginning. I'm glad you said that you started with that. So let's go back some. So you've always been someone who exercised,
Yes,
as you mentioned, but the nutrition piece wasn't there. So uh,
right.
before the rheumatoid arthritis, before all this, what did your lifestyle look like before your transformation started? Before the rheumatoid arthritis started, kind of walk us through that.
Oh God, I've been exercising since I was like 18. Thanks to my mom. I've always moved, did aerobics, did some running, walking, did all of that. I didn't eat the best,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I tried, but hey, it's a disease, you know. So, like I said, I exercise. I tried to keep my weight down. That wasn't really helping. So I decided to have weight loss surgery. I had the lap band first. That failed. Gained all my weight back, and then I had the sleeve. And I had the sleeve because in between that time, that's when my body started changing. I started to swell. Certain things that I would eat, I noticed would cause me to not even be able to move. So when all those changes started, that's when I said, okay, I got to do something. Something is wrong. And that's when I decided to have the sleeve, the gastric sleeve. Once I had the gastric sleeve, it kinda taught me how to eat. Um, Weight loss surgery alone is not the key. It is not the key. It's a tool, but it's definitely not the key. Learning how to eat in moderation, and not I'm a snacker. So I had
Yeah.
to learn how to snack
Yeah.
healthy, 'cause I mean, I can't lie. I still like to eat, you know, but when I think about, okay, if I eat this, I'm gonna swell. If I eat this, I'm not gonna be able to move in the morning. So I'm kind of mindful now. So, and now I'm back to where I was before the RA set in.
So explain that. Most people, when they hear RA, rheumatoid arthritis, they think rest, protect my joints, don't push too hard. But you did the opposite. Right, right. You're like, okay, forget that. I'm about to move.
Yeah,
So tell me mentally, like, how did you get that? Was that scary? A scary decision to make to say, okay, I know
very.
I know what conventional wisdom says, but I'm going against that. So tell us a little bit about
Well,
that. Every week, I sit down with entrepreneurs who are doing the work. These are people who are building businesses while working full-time jobs. These are people who failed, learned, and kept going. And I need your help to keep bringing you these conversations. You see, when you subscribe, you're not just getting notified about new episodes, you're telling the algorithm that this content matters. You're helping more people find it. You're keeping the execution lab alive. It's free. It takes about 2 seconds, but it makes a real difference for a podcast like this, one that's built from the ground up. So if this podcast has helped you, encourage you, or give you something to think about, hit that subscribe button. Help me keep bringing you the content. So let's get back to the conversation.
what I did, I talked to my doctor because I have osteoarthritis in my knees as well. And I talked to my doctor. I said, okay, am I hurting myself by doing this? And she told me, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Continue to move. Protect your knees, of course, but continue to move because if you don't, then you won't be able to move. So keep them in motion. Keep them in motion. And once the doctor told me that I was not tearing anything down, hey, that was it. So I press on. I have some mornings that, trust me, when you see me in that gym at 3:45, 4 o'clock, some mornings it's hard. But once I get moving, then it's go. It's go
Yeah.
from there.
Yeah. And I'm glad you mentioned I'm not in the gym that early, by the way, y'all. Just want to let
Hey,
y'all
but
know. I never get
when
there
you get there, I've been
between
there.
5:30 and 5:45. She's already
Right.
probably got a full workout in by the time I get there. And
Yeah,
so
but when you see me,
yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. So tell us about that. So you said you wake up at 3:45 a.m. every single day. So walk me through everything like from the moment your alarm goes off to the time that your feet hit the gym at crunch. Yeah, tell us a little bit about it. Don't skip anything. Tell us how that works.
and one of the reasons that I get up at that early is because I have 2 dogs, and y'all probably see them back here, so I have to get them, get them out and going or whatever. And because I'm stiff in the morning, I have to get moving. I have to get myself moving. So I have to give myself time to stretch and
Yeah,
move because I'm stiff.
yeah,
So once I get up, I do my stretching, I get the dogs out, I take my time and get myself together. I get to the gym by 4:45, 5 o'clock. And on Monday and Wednesdays, I teach. So I definitely have to be there early. And I teach on Monday nights. So I have some 2 a days. I have a long Monday. And then on Wednesday, I just teach that one time. But I work out 5 days a week. Some Saturdays I hike. So I have one day to rest. And that's
yeah.
Sunday.
I mean, that's good. And listeners to this podcast are individuals that have an idea and they want to go from the idea to executing, whether that be a
Mhm.
book, whether it be a business, whatever it be, their health, whatever. And what I admire about you, that 3:45 is not a compromise. Like that's it. That's your personal rule.
That,
Uh,
and hey, and listen,
yeah,
when we finish, I'll be going to bed.
that's right. That's right. You gotta get right. And even that, that is a decision, and decisions like that don't happen by accident. They happen because you built something around them, right? And so that's a system that's so important. Tell us a little bit about your training session. So you basically went from um rheumatoid arthritis, not moving, all the health issues, to making a decision about yourself. Now you're helping other people.
Yes, absolutely. And I love it. I love it. When I get inboxes and messages, and there's Gina, how you do it? How you do it? And I'm like, okay, first of all, you don't know, you don't know what I go through. Because the first thing that says, oh, my knees. No, 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 no. That is not an excuse. That if your doctor tells you that you can move and you're not hurting anything, you gotta press on. You gotta press on. So and that's what I do. I just kind of tell them my story. A lot of people don't know it, once I tell them my story, and they're like, girl, how do you do it? Try it. Just try it. And that's what they and I tell them it did not happen overnight. And I mean, people can see it didn't happen overnight. It's been years and years of not stopping. Even on the days when I did where I didn't feel like I was gonna make it, I pressed on. So when I do get these women, and it's mostly women, but when I do get them to come in and see what I do, and I tell them, hey, you work at your own pace. Don't try to do what I do. It took me years to get here. And once they see that and start to feel good about themselves, then hey, it's gold, you know. But I'm pretty transparent. I let them know, you know, I did have weight loss surgery. I'm not gonna lie, I had, but I gained weight back too. You know, so but when I saw where my body was, I was going back in that direction of being stiff and not being able to move, and I'm like, no, I got to keep it moving. I got to keep it moving.
Yeah, talk to us a little bit. You know, when people are on the journey, weight loss journey, is two big things. One is food, one is that scale. We're gonna talk about both of them.
Ooh,
And
Lord.
so you mentioned that you meal prep daily, not once a week, not twice a week, but every day. Most people can't even sustain weekly preps. And so let me ask that's like we no, buy my food on the Sunday. I ain't got time for that. And so what does that actually look like in practice, that daily meal prep?
Okay, because eating out, first of all, is too expensive.
It is.
And it's so much in the food. It's so much in it. I just decided to stop doing it. I'm like, okay, it would be much cheaper and healthier for me to just do it myself. So on Sundays, most Sundays, I'll decide, okay, this is what I'm gonna eat. But I can eat the same thing every day. You got some people that can't do that. I buy me a chicken. I go to Walmart. I buy me a chicken, and I just do chicken different ways. I do chicken all kind of ways. And look, and I make sure, because I am a snacker, I make sure I have something at work healthy I can pick up and eat. I got me some grapes, I got me some apples, I got me some tuna because I like to eat. So I try to make sure it's healthy. But what I do, I do my protein shake of my age. I'm focusing on my muscle because I need that. So I try to make sure I get my protein in. I do a protein shake every morning. And once my stomach gets kind of, because that protein can mess with your stomach a little bit,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
switch it up and I'll do me some yogurt or some yogurt and granola. But I every night I get my stuff ready. Look, I get my gym clothes, and this is how I stay on track. I get my gym clothes ready every night. I pack my lunch every night. When I come home from the gym, I fix my shake. I'm very, this is what I do. That's what I do.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's just become a habit. It's become a habit.
Yeah, and what you're describing, daily meal prep sounds like it would add stress to your life, but what you're describing is the opposite.
No,
It really it removes the decision.
that's right. Because guess what? You don't have to think about what you're gonna eat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know.
Yeah, because once you start having to think about what you're gonna eat, it's like, oh, I want this. Oh, I want this. Ooh. But no, when you got it right there, you walk in the refrigerator at work, you get it, you eat it, you go on.
Yeah, yeah. One of my mentors who I never met in person, he passed now. Les Brown said, he's driving in his car, and somehow those donut demons take control of his steering wheel and turn and turn it.
It ain't the donut demon for me, it's the nothing but cake.
Yeah, nothing but cake or the McDonald's French fries with those golden arches and and so
But
and so basically that meal prep it takes away your decision and you don't even really need willpower. You just need a system.
you need us absolutely. You need a system and stick to it. I mean, now sometimes I fall a little short,
Of course.
and
Yeah.
I'll say, hey, I've been good this whole month. I'm about to get me a donut or a nothing but cake, but it's not every day. And
Yeah.
it won't be every day, you know.
Right.
But like I said, I love to snack, so I try to keep something healthy but sweet at work. It's just so helpful to keep something on hand. I used to ride around with grapes in my truck. Let me pop these grapes so I won't pull over
That's
there.
right. That's right. So that's the food. The other one is I knew you talked about this before I called. You talked about the scale. And you said the biggest mistake that people make on a health journey is constantly getting on the scale, and
I
that
still
you said you rarely weigh yourself. Unpack that for me.
listen. Let me tell you. When I was married, I told my husband, "Take the scale to work." after getting the scale on because I was getting on it, Andre, I was getting on it every day. And for a
Yeah.
woman, that is terrible
Yeah.
because, we fluctuate so bad. So I started going to 5-star nutrition
Mhm. Mhm.
and I got on that body scan.
Mhm.
So that kind of stopped me from getting on it every day. I started getting on it every 2 weeks. And that's when I started to see a difference because getting on it every day, you're not going to see anything. You're not going to see, and you'll get discouraged. And I got one right here, right now, but I can walk right past it and
That's
do not touch it. I don't go near it because I'm like, not today, Satan.
yes, yes. Yeah, look, it can be deceptive. You can
Yeah,
weigh yourself on a Monday, and then on a Wednesday you 10 pounds lighter, and then on Thursday you gain. So yeah, yeah. So it can
right,
be
right.
deceptive.
But what helped me once I started going to 5-star and started keeping up with my water intake, start keeping up with my muscle mass and my BMI and all that, I start kind of gauging my clothes. So, okay, oh, these fit kind of, and that's what I started going by and
Yeah.
just staying off that scale.
For those individuals that are listening, and maybe their thing is not health. Just say, for instance, their thing is they got a product that they want to sell online. They got
Hmm.
an ebook or something like that. A lot of times when it really becomes real is when they make their first sale. You mentioned a moment when you saw your first muscle.
Listen,
So tell me exactly. Tell me what you noticed, and what that meant to you.
messing with my hair in the mirror. I said, oh, oh
What it is?
I said, "Oh, wait a minute, wait. So I put my arm back up. I was like, so what I'm doing is paying off because you are your worst critic. And I didn't it was I don't want to say I was doing it in vain, but I was kind of doing it and just wasn't paying no attention. I'm like, Lord, I'm gonna do this. I downloaded this app called Fitbod.
Huh?
I downloaded that last year. I've been using it for a year. And I said, Lord, you know what? Whatever. Just so over this. I'm just fixing to just do it. But when I saw that muscle, I said, oh, let me go up on these, let me go up on these weights.
Yeah, it get
It's
a little
working.
hard.
It is working. So after I saw that, man, I was like, okay, let me just stick to this. Let me stick to
Yeah.
it.
Let me go back a little bit and talk about the transition moment. So, how do you go from a woman transforming her own health to a fitness instructor, standing in front of a class at the gym? So, walk me through that bridge right in there. Like, what was that
Okay.
moment? Because it's one thing for you to see, okay, my health is getting better, my life is getting better with things I'm doing. It's another
Hmm.
thing to say, okay, now I'm an authority in this field.
Okay. Well, I used to be, I've taught, I started teaching Zumba. I guess about 10 years ago. I
Okay.
started dancing. Okay. And I noticed that kept my weight kind of, kept it balanced or whatever. And I said, Lord, I said, these people will come in here and they dance with me. They follow my instructions. I'm good enough where they will actually follow my instructions. And once I started going to crunch, I said, I could do this.
Mhm, mhm,
I said,
uh-huh.
so let me try to get my body in shape well enough that I feel comfortable in doing something other than dance. And once I decided to do that, that's when I started kind of really getting into the weights because I'm like, I want to kind of look like I know what I'm doing, a little bit, and that way, people will kind of follow you. So once I started doing that and started seeing the results, and then people like, girl, I can see it. You really coming along. That's when I really got more confident in it when more people would kind of wanted to follow me. So I was like, okay, I got this. I got
Yeah,
this.
that's good, and basically what you're saying is that you needed credibility.
Absolutely.
Right, you said I can teach this all day, but until I look like what I'm trying to get them to,
That's
right,
right.
to become, and so that credibility is something, and that's such an important point, there that you're making, 'cause there's so many, I don't wanna call them fraudsters, but that's basically what they are, individuals online, different places telling people they can do
Hmm.
this, they can do this, they can have this, and they don't have it. You
At
know,
all.
they don't have it. They don't have the Lambo, they leasing that. They tell you how to get one, or they tell you don't invest in this. come get
Yeah.
the program. And so that in this day and age of everything is false and fake, that integrity, you're right, that
Mhm.
credibility is so important.
And that's what I was gonna tell you. I'm real about it as well. If it's something in the class that I can't do, I'll tell them. I'll give them the alternate move. Hey, I got bad knees. I can't do this. I
Yeah,
can tell you how to do it. I'm gonna show you the alternative.
that's good.
So, I'm very transparent about what I got going on.
Well, there's particular student whose transformation kind of hit differently. That it really kind of make you say, okay, I'm making a difference now. Was there a particular student that sticks out to you?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
have to call their names you don't want to. If,
Okay.
if they
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
mind, they don't mind, go ahead, but you don't have to. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about them.
Yes, it is. She just recently well, she's been coming to the classes, but she just recently started to kind of follow me as well when I'm doing my own thing
Hmm.
the other days of the week. And when I tell you she motivates me,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, and I thought I was a motivator. No, because she can get it and I can see it. I could see it in her body. I could see her changing and her hard work. Look, she was on vacation like this weekend and sent me a video. I'm still getting it in.
No,
I'm
that's
like,
right.
that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, I can see her changing. And I'm like, okay, Gina, you doing something here. You're doing something. And I've
Yeah.
recently had a couple of more ladies to kind of join in with me, and hey, I know guru. You know what I'm saying? I just know where I came from, and I know what I've done. So, and that's all I can do. That's all I can do. You can follow me or not.
Right, right.
So,
And I believe, personally, I believe that the moment your transformation stops being about you and starts being about somebody else, that's when the
mhm,
mission unlocks.
mhm,
Right.
and I
That's
love it. I
right.
love it.
Absolutely.
I love to see women feel good about themselves and
Yes.
feel good about what they're doing and ready for it. The next day. It makes me feel really good.
Look, and let me tell y'all, look, they be down there getting it too. And I'm not in the
I'm
class.
gonna get you down there
Look,
one Monday.
I'm gonna come down there one day, but I got my little system, my little personal development system in the morning.
And that's what you do.
Yeah, yeah. I'm coming. Look, they be down there. They had the music going. We got music that's coming out the Crunch 50 speaker. They got their own system down there. She talking on the microphone.
They
Look,
said,
they
Gina,
getting it.
We really think you a DJ. I'm like,
That's
well, we
right.
kind of
That's
sort of. I try to make it fun. I try
yeah.
to make it fun. So,
Yeah. Well, talk a little bit about your classes. What classes do you teach at Crunch or elsewhere, and describe like what someone would experience if they walk in for the first time. The energy, the structure. What can they expect?
okay, I teach two classes at Crunch. I teach something called Tough Tread. That's a treadmill class, and it's a 45-minute class. We do 3 minutes each on the treadmill. We get down and we do upper body. When you first come in, I'll let you know, hey, these people, they've been doing it for a while. Go at your own speed. I want you to be safe. If it's something that you cannot do, just don't stop. Don't stop. Scale it back, but don't stop. If the weights are too heavy, get lighter weights. If that's too heavy, don't use any weights. Just use your body strength. That's it. On Monday nights, I teach something called So You Think You Can't Dance. That's the name of it. But I know you can because all you gotta do is move.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
an hour. It's from 6:45 to 7:45. And on Wednesday morning, I teach the tough tread again. And it's from 5:30. I don't know if I said it, but it's from 5:30 to 6:15. So yeah.
If someone is listening right now and they're starting from zero, maybe they've been sedentary for years, maybe they're dealing with a condition like RA and they don't know where to begin, what's the very first action that they should take?
First of all, talk to your doctor and make sure that it's okay to start a workout regimen. I would suggest because I'm there, been there, just start off with some walking, 3 or 4 days a week, 30 minutes at a time, and just build yourself up. When I stopped, when I had the little, I guess you call it a flare up. I was driving Uber. I'll never forget it. I was driving Uber and I had had a long day. When I got out the truck to pump gas, I couldn't move. I couldn't get in my truck. I was just that stiff. I was just that swollen. So, one and that set me back months. That set me back months. I couldn't do anything until I got on something. I had to get on an injection. And once I started to get that back, I had to gradually get back into the gym. So I was doing 30 minutes of just walking. And I leave the gym, come home, go the next day, 30. Okay. And before you know it, I was walking an hour on the treadmill. And before you know it, I started to lift weights.
Hmm. And so let me touch on that. You define success, and based on what you almost described it right there. You define success by accomplishing one goal and meet it, and then moving to the next. Always pushing
Absolutely.
past your comfort zone. So
Hmm.
practically, how do you know like when a goal is actually done and it's time to move to the next one? What that process look like?
When you
I think you kind of described it. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna put her on blast.
Okay. Okay. Blaster.
Letitia
Blaster.
Letitia Watts. Okay, for instance, I saw her throwing them 15-pound weights up today. I said, ma'am, get you
Uh-uh.
some 20.
Hmm.
Get you some 20. It was just way too easy. It was too easy. I'm like, you gotta challenge yourself. And that's what I tell them in my class on Monday and Wednesday mornings. Go challenge yourself. Just try it. If it's too heavy, put it down. But try it. Because if you're doing the same thing all the time, you ain't gonna get no your results gonna be the same. So you gotta switch it up. And that's when you see what you're doing it with ease, yeah, it's time to challenge yourself. So
Yeah. And let me say this as an aside that you got a full-time job as well.
yeah.
So a lot of times,
Exactly.
well, look, if it's not the food or the scale, people gonna say, "Well, I don't have time."
Please. You got time.
Talk about that a little bit. Like you work
Oh,
full time as well. Yeah.
listen, and I can't stand it. Don't tell me you don't you okay. This is my motto.
Hmm.
I am going to make time for myself. If it's only 1 hour a day, I'm gonna do it. That's
Yeah.
for me. You
Yeah.
gotta make time. If it's on your way from work, stop. Do it. Get it in there. Get on out. If you're an early morning person, get on up, get it in, get it out the way. You have time for yourself and for your health. You got time.
Yeah.
I hate to hear that. I hate to hear
Right.
that because I work 8 to 5. I teach 2 times on Monday and then on Wednesday, and probably about to get another class.
Wow.
So you got time. And hey, we got a daycare.
Wow.
Want to
You
hear
know,
that?
so there's no excuse.
No,
So
no.
they drop the keys off.
Mm-mm.
Write it
Make
down.
time for yourself and your
Wow.
health.
It is so important. I was telling someone today, I forgot who I was talking to. I said, from about 4:45 to 7 is my time.
Right. That's right.
That's mine. That's mine. It's golden.
Listen, I can't stand for my phone to ring in the
That's
morning. I don't want anything. That is my
yeah,
time. And then on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, it's literally my time because I'm not teaching. So hey, I'm in there. I'm in a whole nother zone. I'm in a whole
yeah.
other zone.
That is important. That time is golden. So,
Yes.
just a couple more questions, then I will wrap it up. When you look back at where you started, not just physically but mentally, like what's the biggest difference between the person you were then and who you are now?
Oh my God. I've always known that if I pushed myself, I could do it. But I was just kind of afraid to step out there, just like with the weights.
Hmm.
Lord, I was so intimidated. Oh my God, I would not go over there on that side of the gym. I was like, oh, all
Yeah,
these big old
yeah,
men and these thick
yeah.
women ain't gonna do it. But one, like I can't do it. But once I said, I need folks,
Right, right.
that changed. My mindset changed. I was like, hey, I don't care. They can look. I don't care. And then and what and another thing that helped is once I did. go over to the other side and the guys are coming over and they will be like, "Hey, let me show you how to do this right. Hey,"
Mhm,
and
mhm.
I was like, oh, "Okay, we all trying to do the same thing." So that's the difference in the Gina then and the Gina now. I'm definitely not afraid. I'll step on out there and do it.
Yeah, and I think that's the actual real transformation. It's not the muscle, it's not the clothes size.
No.
It's the version of yourself that looks back at the old version and recognizes how different you are now. That's the work that doesn't show up on Instagram and social media and all that. And on those hardest days, let me ask you this, because I have my own kind of my personal schema that I use. On your hardest
Mhm.
days, when that alarm goes off at 3:45, the joints may be flared up some, your body, your mind saying, I'll stay in this bed. What is the actual thought or the image that gets you out of bed?
Ugh. I say to myself over and over and over again, Gina, you know you got to move. You know you do not want to be where you were the day you got out that truck to pump that gas, and
Mm,
somebody asked me, "Ma'am, you okay?" Because I stood there,
wow.
my legs wouldn't move. They
Yeah.
were just that swollen, and I said, "Gina, you got to get up." So I started doing bicycles in the bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just, you know what I'm saying, and then I jump on up. But that goes that I'll never forget that day. Never forget that day. And I said, Lord, what's wrong with me? I mean, because I did not know. And whenever I think about that, I get myself up. Now, I mean, the weather it plays a big part in
Mhm.
RA.
Mhm.
And if it's to the point where I'm like, okay, I didn't sleep last night because of it, then on those mornings, I just might not be able to get up. If
Mhm.
I didn't sleep well because of the aching and being swollen. But other than that, hey, if I had to get up and go sit in some hot water, I'm up.
Do something.
Yeah, I'm up. I'm up.
Yeah, that's good. Last question. For someone who is listening right now, they've maybe got a chronic condition. They've convinced themselves that, their health journey is just not for them.
hmm
What's one thing, one principle you want to leave with them before we close out?
First of all, don't sell yourself short. Don't do it. Never sell yourself short. Talk to your doctor. Make sure it's okay to move. And then from that, just kind of think about where you could be. You know, I could be out there walking. I could be running. I could be riding a bike. And I'm just sitting here making matters worse because not moving is only gonna make it worse.
Mm,
I'm an advocate. I know this. It ain't nothing I heard. It's something that I know.
yeah.
Get up and move. And trust me, I have people who have like lupus, to reach out to me. um this got fibromyalgia. I
Yeah.
have that too, you know, but I always tell them movement is medicine.
Mm,
Movement is medicine. Don't let it defeat you. Don't let it defeat you because it doesn't have to. You don't have to. And I have hard days, but I press on. As long as I'm not injuring myself, I press on. And they can too.
that's good. Good word.
Mhm.
Good word.
Mhm.
That's a good word to close on. So for the listeners, everybody watching that want to experience one of your classes in the Tuscaloosa area, I would say, how do they find you? And then also, how do they find you on social media just to follow your journey?
Okay. On TikTok, I am It's Me G. On Facebook, I'm Geana Williams, and you can also go on the Crunch app to find out what I'm teaching. But I teach on Monday mornings at 5:30, and Monday afternoon I teach Monday morning 5:30 treadmill, Monday afternoon 6:45 dance, Wednesday morning treadmill 5:30. But It's Me G on TikTok and Geana Williams on Facebook.
Great, great. And I'll put a link underneath this video so you can just go there and click on that link to find out more about us. Look, Jay, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you
on the
for having me.
podcast. Look, I'll see you in the morning.
Hey, I'll be there. I'm about
I'll
to
see you in
get
the
ready for bed.
I'll be dragging in there. I'll see you in the morning.
All right. You have a good night.
Bro, appreciate you joining. Hey, y'all, definitely make sure you click subscribe to this podcast. And make sure you like it and share it with your friends. Download it if you have to. That lets YouTube algorithm know, hey, keep bringing more information. Keep bringing more podcasts like this. And so, till next time, go get it.
Yeah. Ideas are cheap. Execution pays. Welcome to the execution lab. This ain't talk, this ain't theory. We don't wait till the path get clear. If you got a dream and you serious.